It's Tuesday, September 15th, 2009. Thanks for clicking on the Morning Swim Show. I'm your host, Peter Bush, back in the saddle before the team ditches me. Once again, takes off on the road. This time they're headed to the United States Aquatic Sports Convention in Chicago. Swimming World TV will be there through Saturday, bringing you interviews with some of the top people in aquatic sports. And next Wednesday, we'll bring you highlights from the annual awards banquet, which honors the top athletes in all four aquatic sports and masters swimming. You can watch all those interviews on our news site, swimmingworld.tv, which is already chock full of content from last week's American Swim Coaches Association World Clinic. The clinic marked our official debut of swimmingworld.tv. Hope you enjoy this groundbreaking endeavor for covering aquatic sports. Well, a lot of news happened while the team was in Florida, so today we'll get you caught up on what everyone's talking about. Possibly the biggest recent swimming news was Libby Trickett's announcement that she was taking some time off from the sport and might even consider retiring. Trickett won bronze in the 100 free at the World Championships and has 5 Olympic medals. Over in Japan, several swimmers posted some really fast times at the Japanese University Championships and the Japanese National Sports Festival. Ryusuke Irie swam the third fastest 100 back in history with a 52.24 relay split, coming within 3/10 of Aaron Pearsall's world record. And 1 week later, he swam a 52.3 at the National Sports Festival. Rie Kaneto made a big drop in the women's 200 breaststroke at the Japanese University Championships. She became the 4th woman under the 2:21 barrier. She swam a 2:20.72. Again, the 4th fastest woman in history, 6/10 off Anna Mae Pierce's world record. In European news, Olympic and world champion Marleen Veldhuis announced that she will not compete at the European Short Course World Championships in December. Instead, she's going to focus on a local meet in the Netherlands. Veldhuis broke the 50 free and 50 fly world records earlier this year, but she wasn't able to defend those records at the World Championships. Austrian backstroker Marcus Rogan has decided to continue swimming, this after a fight last month in Italy left him in the hospital with some broken bones. Rogan had been training in Italy for the past 4 years, but now he's going to move back to the States to train with former Stanford teammate Peter Marshall at the University of Southern California. Here in the U.S., 3 major open water swims took place over the weekend, 2 in California, 1 in Chicago, at the Tiburon Mile in San Francisco Bay. 19-year-old Kane Radford of New Zealand and the Mission Viejo Nadadors. He won the men's elite division, while 5K world champion Melissa Gorman of Australia, she took the prize in the women's elite division. You can see them here in this photo with event founder Bob Plasak. Radford finished 5 seconds ahead of the defending champion Trent Grimsey of Australia and about 30 seconds ahead of Olympic champion Usma Luli. And Gorman, she had a much tighter competition. She battled with American teenagers Eva Fabian and Chloe Sutton throughout the race, but she took a straight line into the finish and surged ahead to win just a couple seconds ahead. Both Radford and Gorman won $10,000 for winning the races. In Southern California, at the 79th annual La Jolla Rough Water Swim, 18-year-old Denny Collum held off a couple of former guests here on the Morning Swim Show, Alex Kostic and Ted Robinson. Collum finished the 3-mile Gatorman swim in 1 hour and 3 seconds. Kostic just 5 seconds behind. Robinson was third, about 22 seconds behind the winner. The top female in the race was 32-year-old Dawn Heckman, who was 5th overall. Her time 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 58 seconds. And at the U.S. Masters 5K Open Water Championships in Chicago, 51-year-old Andy Siept was the overall winner. Finished the race 56 minutes and 21 seconds. Siept was about a minute and a half faster than the second place finisher, Alexander Tyler. And the women's top finisher was Erica Rose, who was the 5K world champion in 1998 and won several elite open water titles. Rose was 10th overall, 1 minute, 48 seconds the time. FINA has announced that open water swimmers will be able to wear full-body suits in the open water races in 2010. A FINA statement said, quote, "The new rules relating to swimwear do not apply to open water. They apply only to swimming. The only clarification needed is whether the suits can be fully covered in polyurethane or if they have to be 100% textile material. Open water swimmers said, they get sunburn and the jellyfish bites. Those are two major reasons why they wanted the full body suits. And as for the pool, USA Swimming will vote at this week's convention on a start date for the new suit rules. U.S. Master Swimming has yet to make any ruling on the use of rubber suits in competition. And with FINA not offering up any guidance for the Masters competition, no one's quite sure how that one will go. But in Chicago this week, we'll bring you interviews and news on those votes. You can see those interviews on the Morning Swim Show and swimmingworld.tv. And finally, the much-anticipated matchup between Michael Phelps and Shaquille O'Neal will be televised in the U.S. tonight on ABC. O'Neal challenged Phelps in a few races. One of them was an individual medley in which Phelps would do all 4 strokes by himself, and Shaq would swim the freestyle leg on a medley relay with Ariana Kukers, Dana Vollmer, and Rebecca Soni. The races were filmed in Baltimore a few weeks ago, with Phelps and Shaq both wearing full body suits. The outcome has been closely guarded. We'll all see tonight how Shaq held up in the pool. And that's our news for today. Tomorrow we'll bring you some highlights from the Olympic Coaches Reunion at the American Swim Coaches Association Clinic. Until then, I'm Peter Bush, reminding you to keep your head down at the finish. September's issue of Swimming World magazine focuses heavily on the 2009 FINA World Championships, where 43 swimming world records were set. China lost its dominance in diving, and the United States women's team repeated as water polo champions. On the cover is Germany's Paul Biedermann, who shocked the world by breaking records in the 200 and 400 freestyles. You can read more about Biedermann's swims and others from Rome starting on page 7, where Jason Marsteller recaps all 8 days in the pool, the drama in open water, and the big stories in synchro swimming, diving, and water polo. High school swimming is another large part of the September issue. Jason Marsteller writes about the Baylor School's narrow victory in the mythical National High School Championship, and Dan Albano details the strategy that led to Saratoga High's first boys national championship title. And to round out our high school coverage, the list of this year's high school All-Americans begins on page 43. A retrospective of 50 years of Swimming World magazine looks back at the years 1989 to 1992 and compares the individual medley dominance by Tomas Darnier and Michael Phelps. Master swimmers can find some good training tips from Carlin Pipes-Nielsen and Chris Colburn in our Swim Magazine section, and Coach Ryan Malum talks about his training philosophies for college swimming in our Swimming Techniques section. And we round out the magazine this month with a profile of our age group Swimmer of the Month, Jackson DeFore. Premium subscribers get extra content in the digital issue of Swimming World magazine. Every embedded link will take you to results and other features that you can't find in the print edition of the magazine. If you're not a premium subscriber, you can upgrade by going to swimmingworld.com and clicking on the subscribe button.